Financial theme price and evaporation. The theme word for 2007 is already finance. Following this line of thought, it can be understood that financial regulatory agencies are emphasizing regulation focus on the financial industry, mainly in areas such as asset prices, securities markets, and foreign exchange management. Furthermore, it can be seen that a series of macroeconomic regulation and monetary policies are all carried out around this. The central bank's monetary policy has undergone significant changes, from not paying attention to asset prices in the past, to paying attention or even keeping pace with the overall monetary policy regulation, indicating the central bank's emphasis on asset prices and even the overall financial industry. The traditional four goals of the People's Bank of China are to promote economic development, promote employment expansion, promote international balance of payments, and stabilize prices. Western countries usually have a single goal of preventing inflation. Now, the regulation of asset prices will be added. The changes in asset prices are becoming increasingly bizarre. The real estate market is still high despite the high pressure of regulatory authorities. The song has surged. Even though Shanghai's real estate prices have temporarily stopped rising and are now rising again, the stock market price is even more unpredictable, causing blind market movements. The concept of institutions as the main investment protagonist advocated in previous years has been overturned by the market. Not only do individual investors have twice the amount of institutional funds, but their investment returns are also higher than institutional returns. Such a stock market is either irrational or atypical. There is a mysterious force in the stock market. Quantity 2.276 was pulled up the second day after a huge sell-off after raising interest rates and reserve requirements. The stock market does not fall but rises. When the situation is very uncertain, using collective bidding can push the stock price up by more than 1%. This mysterious force has surpassed the capabilities of ordinary retail investors and institutions and become a new variable factor in the stock market. The regulatory authorities are still being careless. The investigation by the China Securities Regulatory Commission into Hang Xiao steel structure is not as credible as the CCTV report, as this era market has made asset price regulation one of the financial themes of 2007. The liquidity of the real estate and securities markets, in addition to being partially evaporated, still needs to continue to be transferred. In this situation, the resource goods market will take on a heavy responsibility. The prices of resource goods, including agricultural products, mineral resources, public goods, etc., have long been artificially suppressed by the system or separated from the international market, and their prices are not formed through market mechanisms. Now institutional factors and trade barriers are gradually being eliminated and inflation will enter the resource goods market. These resource goods will become important channels for evaporating currency, and the marketization and internationalization of resource goods prices will be confirmed. Also became the theme word for the financial situation in 2007. The price anomaly continues to develop and the market faces a large amount of currency being evaporated. According to statistics, shares in China's Shanghai and Shenzhen stock markets, the market value has increased from 3,101.7 billion yuan in 2005 to over 16 trillion yuan. And in just 16 months, the stock market has absorbed 13 trillion yuan in currency. However, by the end of April, The stock capital of a share market was still only 980 billion yuan, which showed that the asset foam was huge. Once the foam burst, these assets would be evaporated. Perhaps it is difficult to deduce the stock market crash from the prosperity of the real economy. But the 1987 US stock market crash occurred during a period of great prosperity. At the same time, the Chinese economy has been growing rapidly in the past 5 years. But only in the first quarter of this year did listed companies perform significantly better than the previous year, resulting in a decrease in the average P/E ratio, which is also questionable in itself. These have all become objective factors for stock market evaporation, so evaporation will become one of the theme words of future finance. Currency evaporation may seem terrifying, but it is also an important form of the financial explosion. China's reform and opening up the accumulation of currency over the past 3 decades, international capital expectations, as well as billions of various assets, billions of household LD savings, and over $1 trillion in rapidly growing foreign exchange reserves, have formed the conditions for China's financial explosion. The big financial explosion in the 1980s fell in the City of London, England, because of the monetary accumulation of more than 30 years. After the Second World War in Europe, the loose financial system in Britain, the fast-growing financial concept and financial innovation tools, and the good financial talent environment in the City of London. In contrast to these conditions, Shanghai has the conditions to become the main battlefield of China's financial explosion. Shanghai has gathered China's financial talent, information, assets, concepts, hardware, facilities, which is the opportunity for Shanghai to out of the financial explosion.